What is going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Tyler Smith. And the Warriors just had probably one of the most insane games that I have seen all season long. 121-115 over the Orlando Magic, but it was not a wire-to-wire victory by Golden State by any means. They fell down 16 in the first half. Were down 14 at the break. And then a monstrous second half from Steph Curry and company, who, put up 56 points in this one, willed Golden State back to victory. 7-1 now in the Jimmy Butler era, but that's not where I want to start today's show. Obviously, we know Steph is a mastermind and is still playing at an elite top 10, top 5 level in this league, but there's been a trend that Golden State Warriors fans and the coaching staff and the front office cannot ignore anymore, and that's that Moses Moody moves the needle for your Golden State Warriors. In games that he has started this season, the Warriors are 11-0 in those games. Unbelievable. Since Moses Moody has been playing this new role as a quasi-small ball 4, and he and Jimmy Butler kind of playing the same role in a sense, where Moody's the one sitting outside the three-point line, but Butler's kind of working the baseline and vice versa. And it's been a total revelation for Golden State. He's been able to guard bigger players. He has been able to buy in more defensively with the addition of Jimmy. And this is all kind of trickles down from that trade back in the beginning of this month. But Moses Moody has been a huge beneficiary of this deal. And you can see, and what have I said? What have I said for months on end about Moses Moody? When he gets the opportunity, that is when he can kind of shine and be his hungriest and be his most efficient. If you look at the numbers that he puts up when he's a starter versus when he's coming off the bench, it's night and day. 13 points per game as a starter. And keep in mind, these numbers all come from the previous 10 games because I had a feeling that Golden State would win again with Moody in the starting 5. The 10 games previous to the Orlando Magic game, he's averaging 13 points, 3 rebounds, but look at the efficiencies from the floor. And those are actually going to be the ones that dip after this Magic game where he did go 1 of 5. But 74% true shooting for Moses Moody? That is literal, like, some of the best numbers in the entire league. And as for numbers as a starter, that might be the best true shooting percentage in the NBA. And look at the 40 games when he's coming off the bench. Not as confident. Roles kind of inconsistent. And he's in a position where, he's not given the keys as much as he is when he is on the floor with all the starters, and isn't given the confidence that he has when he's out there with Curry, Draymond, Jimmy, and Pods. Get him in the starting lineup more. When you're looking to try out a small ball lineup, which I'm not so sure that they actually should have done against Orlando. Moses Moody did not close the game at that time. But when you're trying to run a small ball 5 or small ball lineup, Moses Moody has to be involved. He has to be a part of that ordeal because the numbers are there. I think we have a big enough sample size now to where we know that Moses Moody is a difference maker for this team when he's in the starting lineup. Now, did he have the greatest game against Orlando? No. To be honest with you, he kind of started out flat shooting the basketball. But he made the defensive plays that he needed to. He made the most of his minutes and didn't let a bad shooting night deter him away from, the overall awesomeness that he's shown out there on the floor for Golden State. I mean, back in double digits again. That's not something that we saw from Moses Moody for long stretches. Now we're seeing it. Now we're seeing Golden State use the resources that they've invested in, right? Because remember, Moses Moody was held out of trade conversations. He was held out of trading for the player in the offseason, given a $13 million a year extension. Now he's being utilized, and Golden State is reaping the rewards of it. I love Moody, able to guard big players, 7'1" wingspan, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for the rest of the season. I have a question for you guys, though, before we move on. Should Moses Moody start every single game the rest of the season? Should this just be an automatic? Should he be a starter on this basketball team? Jury's out, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. Type Y for yes, type N for no. We're going to break down this game in a moment. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor on the program, and that is Prize Picks. Because Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform because it's daily fantasy made easy. And they're always trying to hook you up with incredible deals. You can watch your favorite sports and win real money in real time. Here's how it works. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup, pick 2 or more players, 2 to 6, and just pick more or less, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball coming up. Hockey's on the prowl. We got, I think it's badminton on Prize Picks. They got cricket, bowling, esports. They have it all. Just choose a sport. Combine them if you want. Just pick more or less. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. And PrizePicks is always trying to hook you guys up with incredible deals, like a free $50 in your account when you sign up using our promo code CLNS and place your first $5 entry. Just pick more or less. Take advantage of the other deals they have as well, like Taco Tuesday, where they discount stat projections, and Flex Friday, where if you lose your lineup, they'll give it back to you, your entry, in promo funds. Take advantage of all of that. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game. All that information will be clickable down in the comment section and description of today's video. Whoa. What a whirlwind of a game, man. Magic, Warriors. Orlando's been desperate for a win. Golden State's trying to stack as many as they can before the end of this season. And a certain player who wears number 30 had something to say about it. Are you kidding me? 56? What? I mean, it was heat check after heat check after heat check after heat check. 35 in the second half. A 60-footer at the buzzer, which probably clicked in his mind that, oh, I'm on today. I'm on today. Nobody played well for Golden State in the first 24 minutes of this ball game, except for Wardell, the savior Steph Curry. Like, I just laugh at the people who like to call this guy washed. A guy who doesn't rely on elite athleticism to dominate basketball games. A guy who had virtually zero help off of the bounce before the Jimmy Butler trade. Look at the pressure that thing's alleviated. Before the Butler acquisition, teams were just throwing the kitchen sink at Steph defensively. Just throwing everything at him. And look now, when he can run off screens, find wide open shots, yeah, he can still shoot the basketball. Spoiler alert, newsflash. Steph is still dominating. He got to the line a ton today too, but 12 of 19 from 3. I'm not going to say he's going to do this every game. This is an unconscious performance. But man, I am encouraged by the performances of Steph. After a pretty rough January, pretty rough December, he is back in full form. Since the Butler trade, he has been on fire. Now, to kind of segue to Jimmy Butler, for a little bit of a more somber note, Jimmy wasn't good tonight. Like, Jimmy was bad. Overall, I'm looking at stats real quick because they're not pulling on my graphic right now, but that's all right. Jimmy tonight was just not efficient scoring the basketball. And I think he's still got to get his legs underneath him a little bit because it really seems like he's short on a lot of his jump shots. He got caught a couple times backdoor by Paolo Banchero in the first half. But Jimmy tonight, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 7 dimes. So he's still making the right plays. And only had 2 turnovers. So, he doesn't turn the ball over at a high clip, makes the right plays all the time, but is 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 3 from three-point range tonight. The jump shooting does have to be better. I'll admit, the jump shooting does have to be better. And I think if Golden State wants to make a deep playoff run, he's going to have to be a better jump shooter. He does elevate his game in the postseason, however, so that does encourage me a bunch. But at the same time, there can't be too many more performances like this, or else I'll start getting worried that they might just never come again. However, there were other players who picked up the slack on Golden State in the lack of Jimmy scoring tonight. And one guy who we all love to chant his name, QP, 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 QP. When he was entered into this game, script completely flipped. I know Steph put 56 up and he was carrying all game long. But when Post was entered into this game in the second half, he came out on fire. 2 more threes tonight. One of them, I think he had his foot on the line, so it ended up being called a 2. But 7 of 9 from the field. The efficiency tonight has been awesome. He was making defensive plays at the rim. He was deterring shots. He was awesome all night long. Keep playing him. If you want to play a big lineup, put Quinten Post in the starting 5. I'm okay with Moody off the bench if it means that we're matching up better and starting hotter against teams that potentially have more size than Golden State. I know Moody can guard with his long wingspan, but at the end of the day, 6'5" is 6'5". And he might not even be 6'5". Post is a true 7-footer plus who, yeah, you don't want him to get dragged outside the three-point line on a high pick and roll, but he's shown his ability to develop in that area. He's a solid enough interior defender and shot blocker at the rim, big enough presence down there. Play him more. Play him earlier. I want to see more from Quinten Post. And honestly, we've seen a lot. I still just continue wanting to see more. I want to see more from Pods as well. I mean, he was not good from the field today, not at all. 3 of 12, really, really bad. But hey, Pods have been playing at an elite level, really good defensively. Can't really complain too much about him. Draymond, he was awesome tonight. He was making the right plays. He was deterring shots at the rim. He had a good call to Steve Kerr to challenge a play that got ripped off the board. Like, the Warriors as a whole today were awesome. In the second half, of course. GP2 made the great defensive plays that he needed to make, made the opportunities around the rim that he had as well. Looney had extended minutes. Give me 7 boards. Good stuff. Good stuff. Buddy Hield was awful in the first half. Didn't see him in the second half. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Don't want to see him on rotation anymore. I'm done. I'm just done. We're not doing it anymore. Gee, fine. Kevin Knox got a couple of runs there in the first half. Didn't really love it. And then that was kind of it for Golden State. But the main takeaway from tonight, if you were wondering, is that Steph put up 56. And he had an absolute baller night. What do you guys think your number one takeaway from this game is? Let me know down in the comments section. Aside from Steph, I can't say Steph going 56. That's my challenge to you guys. Cannot say Steph going 56. What was your number one takeaway overall for this game that can lead to the rest on this road trip and beyond as we sprint to the end of the regular season? That'll do it for today's edition of Warriors Today by Chat Sports. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're getting so much growth here at Warriors Today, and we need your help to keep growing. We're going to be doing every watch party the rest of the season. We're going to be doing all the postseason games, bringing you the best coverage on YouTube. So if you love the Dubs, you're going to love what we got going on here on the channel. Hit that sub button. We'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Dubs!